a point infinitely long time. Untested poison. The stomach is the most bitter, the beings of the 6 realms. I fully accept the teachings of the Buddha. For the suffering beings. All beings. Creating everything. Suffering because he doesn't know. When the suffering nation offered to kin, regret won't help then. By that time, it'll be too late. So the Bodhisattva, this Prince Jong has this intention, and that is Kittagarbha Bodhisattva. We're all in this situation today. Can we generate intention? If we can generate this intention, we truly benefit from the Kittagarbha Sutra. We ourselves live in suffering. We need to remember that there are those in this world who suffer more than we do. We're not afraid of suffering, and since we're not suffering, we can understand all the suffering beings. We can't fully grasp others' suffering until we overcome our own. Only then does our desire to help become genuine. Only when you get out of this suffering can you truly experience the suffering. That heart that helps the suffering beings is truly sincere. If you haven't experienced hardship, you need to think about those who are truly suffering throughout their lives. That understanding is always going to feel a bit distant, isn't it? You can grasp it. So for the Buddhist disciples, one is to take precepts as your teacher. And they say, take suffering as your teacher. Especially those left world. Living through tough times is good. Living through tough times keeps you on your toes. You can enjoy it. Yeah, there's no confusion or upside down thinking. So we really need to be humble. Those who are blessed, the monastics who truly practice, will definitely reap the rewards. Think of others suffering in 6 realms. You start thinking, and it's hard to say, but we need to think about those who are suffering the most in the 6 realms. You need to study properly. These past few days we've been talking about the Avatamsaka Sutra. Establish the world of Huazang. It's not about jumping in yourself. It's for the higher realms. All things are dust. Break a bottle of ignorance. The true transformation of these bodhisattvas. There's a place to settle down and find purpose. Yeah, a proper place. For practice that provides them with enjoyment. Me, I haven't enjoyed anything. The Western Pure Land, Amitabha Buddha. to establish. The Pure Land isn't just for your own enjoyment, It provides a place for all the chanting practitioners from the 10 directions to be reborn and practice there. Where's the fun in that? This is all about presenting the best image for us to see. So there are those with great blessings. Ancestors, masters. Do your best at the practice center. I didn't really think about it. Nah. The place I live in, it's a small room. So, you live in a small room. Blessings allow for some light and heavy enjoyments. A mind of equality, a pure heart. As long as they are true practitioners. There's no place you can go where he doesn't welcome people, where he doesn't receive them. That's why it's called the 10 Directions, the ever-present great vehicle. Where is it for personal glory and fame? Buddhism teaches us. Our own perspective sets an example for us. Not a word of a lie. We see that he has discovered. Not afraid of the long time. Not afraid. The hardships of this teaching work. By widely learning the methods and prohibitions for liberation, I myself can attain the path to Buddhahood. This means that if all beings don't attain Buddhahood, then I won't either. So Kitigaba Bodhisattva is always realized in the Bodhisattva realm. Today, we're looking at this aspect of the manager. It's said that all the Tathagatas from the 3 times participate in this Dharma assembly. It's all about Kitigaba Bodhisattva. To liberate. To liberate those who can be liberated. Dufu remains a Bodhisattva while students have become Buddhas. He's still in the Bodhisattva realm. The students are Buddhas, but the teacher is still a Bodhisattva. These blessings for this teacher. No, there's no gratitude. Today, Shakyamuni Buddha is going to promote the Kitigaba teachings. They come to attend the gathering. It's all about repaying kindness, you know. Come and influence everyone. Which Dharma assembly has blessed those who participate? There's no such reasoning. All the Buddhas have gathered together to adorn the Dharma assembly, to dignify the gathering, to elevate this teaching. Let all sentient beings be aware of the incomparable superiority of this method. This method must be learned. It is the foundation for all Buddhas to become Buddhas, and the root of becoming Buddhas. If you abandon this Dharma door, you definitely won't achieve anything. Just reciting the Buddha's name, to be honest, won't guarantee rebirth. In my own life, Whenever a new temple is established, please invite me to give a talk. The first step is definitely to discuss the Kitagawa Sutra. We've got the land sorted. We've got a piece of land and a solid foundation for the temple. The fundamental vow of Kitagawa Bodhisattva is about knowing the heart. This is what truly resonates. What's the first step in establishing or restoring a temple? Experience dictates that Kitagawa Bodhisattva does not allow it. In this lifetime, the great vow before the Jade Pen Buddha. To exhaust hundreds of millions and billions, if there's something that cannot be touched, that's still considered a bodhisattva. This is what we should learn. Let's talk about this particular case and its background. We need to be able to grasp its meaning, to deepen our understanding infinitely. His teachings are filled with endless compassion. The lady must know before she can act. How can we even talk about fulfilling dreams? You've been vague and general about it. This passage isn't long. Having a quick glance without paying attention is useless, isn't it? Let's take a look at the next part. Second, concerning, driven by the unimaginable opportunities from the past. This time is after the Great Surge. The Great Surge, this is the very first one. In the 10 worlds, there is a Buddha known as Juhua, the Tathagata, king of self-mastery. The cloves are blessed. 400 trillion and 27. From the lifespan of a Buddha, we can see that the blessings of sentient beings in that era were quite significant. This lifespan is one of the blessings. Up above, there is a Brahmin woman. Behind the Buddha, many are close to him. In all actions, walking, standing, sitting, and lying down, are we not dwelling in heaven? The Buddha's lifespan is very long. But emphasize almsgiving. The Buddha's era has already come to an end. After the Buddha's passing, there are 3 periods that follow his extinction: the true Dharma, the form of Dharma, and the last Dharma. Buddha's true Dharma lasted for 1,000 years. True Dharma, Shakyamuni Buddha's true Dharma lasted a millennium. A Shakyamuni Buddha's true Dharma lasted for 1,000 years. The first 1,000 years after Buddha's passing marked the form of Dharma, lasting 1,000 years. We are now in the last Dharma period, lasting 10,000 years. So whether it's the Chinese perspective or that of foreigners, we are currently in the last Dharma period. 10. After 2,000 years of the ruins density, this is the last Dharma period. So when Buddhism was introduced to China, it's time of constitution. Speaking of doing business, There have been prophecies. During the true Dharma period, the precepts lead to achievement. By practicing according to the precepts, one can attain the right results. During the period of filial piety, meditation leads to achievement. That's why Zen Buddhism is really flourishing in China. What's the reason for that? It came during the period of the form of Dharma. It resonates well with what the revered teacher said. Meditation and Pure Land lead to success. This person has changed. Cultivate. This person's character is not what it used to be. Cultivate. Achieve. Unattainable enlightenment and concentration is impossible. If I cultivate the Pure Land and wait for rebirth, I can achieve it. What we often talk about. This is the gathering of the radiant Buddha. In his thoughts, there is a Brahmin woman. This Brahmin woman also took refuge in the Buddha's teachings. She studies Buddhism. The blessings are profound. We talk about good roots and good outcomes. Was there a disturbance in the past? The blessings that are lost, the good roots that are lost, are still very good. Everyone is close to him. People really admire him. They respect him. When the public sees him, it's just like what I mentioned earlier. The image is truly remarkable. Gaining the respect of the wider community. The respect of the community. Walking, standing, sitting, lying down contemplation. It's all sufficient. Set a good example for the community. So even the heavenly beings respect him. All the gods and deities. Everyone respects him. The heavenly beings are always present. When we talk about events now, the heavenly beings are looking out for us. At every moment, never leaving his side. That's called protection. So everyone, please hold back. In today's society, there are many creators. There are few people who do good deeds. If there are 1 or 2 people doing good deeds, the protection of the heavenly beings it's particularly numerous. In the past, there were many good people, and the gods in heaven protected them. But not many people are being protected by the heavenly beings. Nowadays, people are just sitting around, and if there are only 1 or 2 good people, all those heavenly beings come to protect you. Is it really true or not? Why not repair it? Why should we do good deeds? So, we should stop being lazy and start doing some good. Don't seek the Bodhisattvas, don't seek the Buddhas, and don't seek the heavenly beings. All Buddhas naturally provide protection. The gods will naturally be popular. Why need to seek them? It's just too hard to talk about happiness in this place. These days, people in the world learn about Buddhism but don't really believe in it. Why don't we believe in Buddhism, especially those who have left home? Buddhism teaches us to let go of all attachments, but what about living tomorrow? I believe Buddha. If you really want to be a monk, truly pure, if you starve or freeze, deities are accountable. There's no heart to seek anything at all. If you end up starving or freezing to death, I tell you, all the protective deities will be held accountable and dismissed. It's not fake at all. But everyone doesn't believe it, so you've got to judge for yourself. When the protective deities see that, they just sit back and relax, thinking, it's up to you, I'm not getting involved. They're just chilling out. I spent a year at the Shifang Dajia temple in Keelung. The old monk asked me to talk about the serious teachings during the rainy season retreat. The lecture hall is right next to the power station. I'm telling everyone, you've got to believe. Yeah, don't cling onto things anymore. In the temple, focus on your practice. Don't get caught up in doing Buddhist rituals. Don't worry about the gold offerings, and don't fuss over the flowers. Just completely rely on the Bodhisattvas for everything. Where's the logic in that? So, if even monks aren't happy, how can you expect the average person to be happy? It just doesn't make sense. We really believe, we're not afraid. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas protect us, and the guardian deities are powerful. Maybe missing a meal or two isn't a big deal. You definitely won't starve to death. Just a bit of cold won't kill you. It will definitely come around. You've really got to have faith. Yeah. This is what true cultivation is. This is what real happiness is. What you need will come to you. Music will definitely come to fruition. These principles were taught to us by Master Zhong. I have faith in him now. He wouldn't deceive me. Life was tough with Master Zhong. Back then, life was really tough, you know. When it came to Master Zhong, we didn't even have a cent to offer. I don't have that ability. He knows he won't blame me. He was really good to me. Very compassionate, very caring. I used to meet him once a week. At that time, I was working, you know. So on Sundays, I'd go see him and ask for his guidance. Every week, he'd give me 2 hours. When he was busy, he'd still give me an hour. If I missed going once or twice, he'd definitely send someone or call to ask why I didn't show up, wondering if I was sick or something. He was really caring, you know. That love makes it impossible for you not to go. He told me that in the Buddhist teachings, if you ask for something, it will definitely be answered. When you can't get what you ask for, it's because of your karmic obstacles. Once those obstacles are cleared, there's no reason for it not to respond. But it must be pursued in accordance with the principles and the law. If you use greed, anger and ignorance to ask for help from the Buddha or Bodhisattva, it will not increase your greed, anger and ignorance. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas will not help you create plague. You truly are doing good deeds, and it's for the benefit of all beings, that you can feel the connection with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. It's impossible for there to be no response. It's likely due to some evil spirits. Spirits tempt you. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas won't aid wrongdoing. Demons encourage your desires. Buddhas won't help with bad deeds. Desires, greed, anger, ignorance need awareness. It will only give you good connections, not bad ones. So, from this, we can see that anything that fuels our desires and encourages greed, anger, and ignorance should be approached with a high level of awareness, like a dark cloud. It's good connections. But when people have this connection, there's no way they won't feel joy. Temptation and evil are unavoidable. Stay alert. Young benefit from wise teachers. You really need to be highly alert about this. So it's really good for the young to get close to wise teachers. It helps them establish a solid foundation. Throughout our lives, we need to have a high level of awareness about the world around us. We need to seek the protection of all the Buddhas, the heavenly beings, and the good spirits. Learn right here. Now let's take a look below and ask. His mother's message. The everlasting three jewels. The truth surpasses all, and learning is a convenient way to advise and comfort your mother to recite the sutras. The son and mother have not fully realized their true nature. Before long, they find themselves in the depths of hell, completely engulfed. There's no conflict between him and his mother. The habits of affliction are quite heavy. They probably also see people who practice Buddhism. There are a few good images. We're in the image Dharma period now. The Buddha's teachings have fallen apart. There were many more good images during the correct Dharma period. There were many more good images among the disciples during the correct Dharma period, but they've become scarce in the image Dharma period, and even fewer in the degenerate age. It's become even rarer. So in the degenerate age, if we can truly practice Confucianism, the Buddhas will be even more delighted, and that joy is doubled compared to the image Dharma period. The protection from the benevolent deities and celestial beings is also doubled. It's rare and hard to come by, So why do we waste such a precious teaching on ourselves? Don't talk about real science. So creating the worst karma will cause a downfall. Why is that? They will disrespect the three jewels. They might slander the three jewels, saying they're just householders. The image of us monastics isn't great. Why is that? Buddha, that era. The disciples of Flodi are respected by all the ministers and the public in society. They received the respect of all the kings and ministers. We need to think carefully. In the degenerate age, when monastics go out, people look down on them. They look down on us, pointing and laughing from the sidelines. What's the reason for that? Can we blame others? Blaming others is completely wrong, Looking back, we should blame ourselves, yeah. Our own words and actions, they are our own. Damn it. Not worthy of the respect of the general public. Inside there is still greed, anger, ignorance, arrogance, and outside it's all about clinging to things. What's being shown is really just superstition. Leading the general public into superstition. How can you be worthy of respect? Why should people respect you? The people who respect you are also superstitious. You're just a deluded person, This mystery definitely doesn't believe, But whether you create karma, intentionally or unintentionally, it's still karma you've made. There's definitely a result. If you break the law, you are punished. But if it's unintentional, there's no karmic result. It doesn't work that way. If you know the law and break it, you're in trouble. If you don't know the law and still break it, you'll still be sentenced. You are still guilty. You can't say that just because I don't understand the law, if I commit an offense, I'm not guilty. That just doesn't work. That doesn't make sense. So, the mothers of the Brahmin women are all without interruption